Hey guys, in this episode, I will be deep diving with Brantley into the Big Idea Design watch collection. And before we go into this episode, I just wanted to let you know that this episode is also sponsored by Big Idea Design. Big Idea Design, your one stop shop for every EDC need. If it's a pen, a knife, an EDC tool, a watch, a backpack, you get it at Big Idea Design. And now have fun listening to Big Idea Design. Let's watch. Moin moin and a dear welcome to another episode of Tim's Sprachnachrichten, or for you English speaking people, Tim's voicemails. And today I got an awesome guest again on the show. I think we just spoke about it, all right? We talked last in September at the Heaven Knives Day Fest, and Brantley, it's so awesome to have you on again.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. We appreciate you having us on again. I guess just me this time, but having us back. We're excited to talk.
Oh yeah, really, really. I mean, we thought about doing this episode about your watches, right? I think we thought about it back in August.
Something like
now,
that, yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about it at the event. And then
exactly.
Yeah, here we are at February. We're finally doing it. So
yeah, man, right on time.
Yeah, man. Hey, no time like right now. So
yeah, exactly. But it's really awesome to have you on the show again and finally talk about the watches, right? Because back as we talked about recording the episode, you guys were about to release the GMT model and had the, I think, the Kickstarter for the base TI Fieldwatch baseline in the pipeline, but not yet released, right?
Yeah. So we ended up doing the GMT on Kickstarter, and then the day we launched the GMT publicly, we actually launched the baseline field watch also. So we launched our most expensive watch and our more budget friendly watch all at the same time. So kind of a watch for everybody.
Yeah, but now you have like watches through like the whole width of possible entry price points, right?
Yeah. Starting at in US dollars, of course, 100. I think 199 for the baseline, all the way up to 975 on the GMT. So that's kind of the extent of the range. We got a couple stops along the way. 275, 399, 499. A few different models.
Just check which prices are in euros on your website for those watches. Oh yeah, the GMT comes in close to 1,000 euros.
Yep.
The TI baseline comes in at like 204, and the TI Fieldwatch at 511.
Yep, that sounds right. Yeah. You guys are just however the exchange rate is, you're just barely below us, I think, at the moment. So I mean,
yeah.
So you're so pretty close to whatever our USD is.
Yeah, it's like usually not that far between those two prices, right? Sometimes it is, but I think at the moment it's quite tight.
Yeah, I think it is actually very tight.
So let's think back, way back. Have watches always been a part of your life?
Yeah, actually, I've always like been kind of a person that like I've always worn a watch probably since middle school.
Okay.
And then I think I got my first like we'll call it a real watch. I think it was like a Fossil or something. I got it for Christmas in like the 6th grade or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, actually, honestly, I think I still have that somewhere in a drawer. I bet I should find that. Yeah, I think I do actually. I think I might know where it is. Anyway, so that was like my first like, quote unquote real watch, I guess. I got into watches, not so much like as a collector, but more of like I just like to have one. And so like, I wore one every day for forever. I mean, probably up and through my mid 20s. And then, jumped on the Apple Watch train probably.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, however many years ago that, probably 8 years ago, 9 years ago. And, it was neat. It was cool. Like the whole, technology thing. But then like I actually bought it so that I would quit, reaching for my phone all the time. Like, okay, it'd be kind of a cool middle ground between like the buzzing in my pocket and the, not having to pull my phone out 8,000 times a day. And then I just got addicted to my watch instead of my phone. And so I was like, this is not helping. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Relatable.
was like,
Yeah.
so the reason I bought this is has gotten rid of itself. And then I immediately took it off
Mm.
and threw it in my drawer, and I have not touched it since. One of our delivery drivers is pulling up. I'm good, man. What are you doing? Just hanging out. Perfect. Have a good day, dude. Good to see you. That's one of our UPS drivers. Super cool guy named Josh. He actually always wears one of our hats. We gave him one a long time ago, and I see him wearing it all the time. Uh,
Awesome.
yeah. So back to what I was saying. So I realized I was addicted to my Apple Watch, and just I immediately took it off, threw it in a drawer, and it literally has not left that drawer since. Uh,
Mm.
and went and bought like a cheap. It was a Timex Weekender 40 millimeter with the white dial. For like $38, something like that. I think I bought it at like it was some big box store, like a Target or something like that.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, analog watches. Like now that I'm off of this, the Apple Watch, like I really kind of fell back in love with analog watches. And probably wore that thing every day for at least probably a year and a half. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then fast forward, I think this might even jump into one of your later questions. Uh, Travis, the guy who runs RZE, so he's the founder of RZE Watches, um, reached out to us on Instagram and was just like, "Hey, we're relatively new at the time. This was probably 2020, somewhere in there, 2021 maybe." And
Yeah.
and was just like, "Hey guys, like you guys love titanium stuff. I love titanium stuff. Like we should be friends." And yeah, and it was like,
Easy.
yeah, exactly. It was like a no-brainer. Like we
Yeah.
went back and forth in DMs for a long time. Super nice guy, extremely knowledgeable, and so we were talking, and he was like, "Well, what? Let's do a trade. Like, let's just trade some gear." I'm like, "Done. Let's do it." And so he sent or let me, Chad, and Joe each pick a watch out off his website, and then we loaded him up with just pretty much our whole line. Like he was like, "I'd love to have kind of some cool titanium gear for my product photos to go alongside the watches to kind of show it in context." And we were like, "Yeah, absolutely, let's do this." Like we all like watches, so so we ended up getting. I got the not the Resolute, the oh gosh, of course the model name's not going to come to me. Um, Maybe it is the Resolute. Yeah, the Resolute, his standard field watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like a black dial, really clean, really really cool watch. I still have it, and so I got one of those. Chad got one that had a bracelet that's got a white dial, and I can't remember which one Joe got. But after probably 3-4 weeks of us having these watches, we wore them. Each of us wore them every day. We like fell in love with them, and Joe kind of looked at us one day and like turned around in the office. Like in our office, we all work all in like a big area together. There's no walls, no offices, nothing like that. It's just like a big open room. And he like turns around and he's like, "Do you guys think we should see about doing our own, like with them?" And me and Chad immediately were like, "Yes, like these are sweet. Like we really, really like them. We love the look of the cases. We like the stonewashing. Like it makes too much sense." And yeah, so then we kind of pitched it to Travis of just like, "Hey, what would you feel about helping us do our spin on your watch?" And he was like, "Absolutely, let's make it happen." And so 100 phone calls later and tons of different design elements and tweaks and stuff, we kind of landed on the TI Field Watch, and it's kind of been history ever since, I guess. So it's been going
Oh yeah.
since, gosh, when did we release those? 20. I want to say it was 2022. I think it was like fall of 2022.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I
that sounds right.
Out of my mind, I would have said like early 2023, but yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
2022. But maybe it was like it took some time for the watch from US to the European market, right? That could also be the case. I don't know.
Yes and no. Yeah, we try to kind of do it all at once. Let's see here. I can actually find out real quick my, when we launched that project, because we did them on Kickstarter first. Uh, And of course, we like to give people options as much as we can, within reason. And so that's why we ended up launching that watch as an automatic and a solar option. We couldn't decide which one we wanted to do, so we did both. Let's see here. It's not too far back here. Field watch, April 2nd, 2022 is when we launched it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that means they would have landed and been shipping probably late summer, somewhere in there. Yeah. So mid 2022 is when they actually like hit the market. So we did the Kickstarter campaign in April. So typically that turnaround somewhere in that 3 to 4 month range, as far as from funding. Yeah. So
I was so far off, man.
We're going on 4 years of making watches. That's kind of wild.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't really thought about it.
I mean, especially like 4 years, and 3 of those, maybe 3.5 years of those, with just one model, right? And then in an instant, another 2.
Kind of. So we did the first one we did outside of the field watch was the Daily Solar, and that would have come out in fall of 2023. That was the first one of those. And so that was the first annual release we did. And we just dropped the 3rd version of that, and they're almost sold out. Actually, we have I think we're down to like the last 8 of them or something like that. I just counted them the other day. I'm trying to remember how many we had. It's a 300 run, and I'm wanting to say we have somewhere in the 40 ballpark available left. So,
oh wow, okay,
yeah. So they're getting down to the last run, and those will typically take a 300 piece run will take us about 6 months to sell through. And so they're actually kind of ahead of schedule. So last year's actually did really well too. So that one we're doing like a custom colorway, and we even changed movements from the first year to the second year. And then every year will be a little different flavor. But this year's like a triple green. It's like three slightly varying tones of green that look really, really cool. So really big fan of this one.
Oh yeah, I see it right now.
Yep.
I totally missed it. I have to admit, right?
Yeah. So we did the first one, which was a black dial. The second one, which was a kind of a khaki yellow color dial.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yep. And then this year's was that kind of tritone green.
Yeah, definitely. I remember.
Yeah. So those have been a huge hit, and those are $275 retail. So I guess around just under 300. Yeah. So that was kind of our first foray into like something that's a little bit more affordable, but outside of the 400 to 500 range. Just that next price point down. And it's a little smaller watch where we went from it's a 40.5 millimeter case on the field watch. It's a 38 millimeter case on the Daily Solar. So it's kind of a traditional field watch size. Just something a little different, but it's a different case altogether too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So as you talked about the Apple Watch, right? Or carrying an Apple Watch. It happened just yesterday. I had the talk with a friend of mine who got himself a smartwatch, and I was like, man, every time I talk with someone and they are wearing a smartwatch, right? Every time they look at the smartwatch, it's for me like basically the same as they would look at their phone mid-conversation, right? And sending me like this message like, yeah, our conversation isn't important to me right now. So I always feel like analog watches are also much more friendlier between humans, right? Looking at the time on your analog watch is like basically just looking at the time, right? There's nothing distracting about it. But looking at the smartwatch, you got messages, maybe, I don't know, fit watches, right? Fitbits or whatever they are.
Yeah, checking the score of your favorite football match.
Exactly.
Like all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's always like the same thing, and it's always having a discussion at the moment, and someone looks at their smartwatch. It always pisses me off, to be honest, right?
So I totally get that. Yeah.
And we are talking here. Can we just keep talking, or do you just want to leave, or I don't know, right? So that's my problem.
Are you with me or no? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That's like the problem I have with smartwatches, right? They are basically your smartphone on your wrist. So Yeah.
Yeah,
I
totally. Yeah,
always
I
prefer the
definitely agree.
classy, yeah, analog watches for the win, right?
Oh,
Basically.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever have another smartwatch. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
me
was like,
neither.
I felt like I
Never
needed to
had
do it.
one, never will.
Yeah. Well, one of the, I mean, I bought it obviously because I was addicted to my phone. Like my phone would ring or vibrate, and I'd pull it out of my pocket every
Yeah.
8 seconds. But then I was doing before I started working for Big Eye, I was doing in person sales, and
Mm.
it was kind of nice for that because I could kind of quickly check those messages while talking to customers on the floor without having to be really distracted and
Yeah.
pull my phone out. So it did serve a good purpose there because I could kind of real subtly, in between conversations, check, if a client was texting me, which I did a lot of. Like people would reach out to me
Mm.
just through text and see like, hey, can you get me this? Can you buy me this? Whatever. So, so it was nice for
Yeah.
that. But
I mean,
yeah, outside of
100%, right? I
yeah,
can
but
totally
then in
see the
normal
benefit of it.
conversation, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yep,
And also, you don't have to recharge your batteries. The watch will run you a lifetime. A smartwatch will never run you a lifetime. Every analog watch, automatic watch will outlast you, maybe even your kids. I don't know, but if maintained correctly, right? So
yes,
it's
exactly.
basically like even there, it's like the much better thing to invest in than a
Oh, 100%.
smartwatch is, right?
Yeah, it will always work if you take care of it. So
Exactly.
the yeah, I tried to charge my Apple Watch. I was doing a lot of biking,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh, maybe I'll like track my bike rides. Like so, I busted it out probably 6 months ago, and tried to charge it, and it wouldn't even take a charge. It's like, oh, all right, you're dead.
Oh
I think
wow.
I just threw it
Yeah.
away. So or maybe it's either back in the drawer or I trashed it. I can't remember. So yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So, like the first or the first design was the TI Field Watch, right? And that's
Yes. Yep.
basically a twist on an existing design of RZE watches, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of based off of his case design that we loved. And so it has like these cool chamfered edges and it's got like these kind of unique shapes to it, but it's not like overly boxy, but it's not overly round. Like he had a really cool design language with his case design. And so we
Hmm.
were like, okay, I think it'd be a cool partnership is like, let's stay with your case design that we already love and let's put our spin on it, our face, put our dial, and then add a few features that we wanted to add to our specific model. So he kind of let us do whatever we wanted, honestly. Like he gave us direction, um, because he's been in the watch industry a long time, and yeah, so we kind of leaned on him for his expertise on what is this a bad idea? Is this a good idea? Like so. Um, yeah, so we just basically took his shape and put our flavor into it.
So, you guys sent along the TI Field Watch to me, and since then, it's the only watch which has never left. I mean, despite at night, right? Never left my wrist. So
Nice.
every morning I stand up, I put the field watch on. I don't even think about it. Maybe I will switch the strap, right? But
Mhm.
right now I'm rocking the leather band, the leather strap, for like the past 4 months or so. So yeah, I mean, it's like for me such a daily driver. I have
Yeah,
never
yeah.
before that I own a Seiko 5. Also
Okay,
awesome
great
watch,
watches.
right?
Yeah, great
Yeah,
watches.
exactly.
Yep.
The one I usually wore was given to me from my parents for my 30th birthday. So I've
Oh, nice.
worn
That's
that
cool. A little
until
sentimental
that
value.
point. Yeah, yeah, I've worn that for like 2.5 years, maybe three, and then your watch arrived, and the Seiko was immediately back in the drawer. And since then, the TI Field Watch, because it's titanium, right? It's
Uh,
so much lighter and it disappears on your wrist, especially like 40.5 millimeters, right? It's
yeah, it's
such an
just
awesome
big
size.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
exactly.
sweet spot. Uh,
100%.
it's like big enough to where it doesn't look tiny on the average guy, but not so big that Another
We're
delivery
like a
guy
clock tower or
named
something,
yeah.
right?
Our second delivery guy also named Josh just pulled up. So we have two delivery guys named Josh. And yeah, so we felt like that it was like the perfect sweet spot. Like I'm a kind of, a relatively tall guy. I'm like 6'1", but I also have really skinny wrists. So
Hmm.
it's like it's kind of the perfect
Yeah,
size for my hand.
100%.
But Chad was actually just giving me a hard time for my skinny wrists at lunch. So because I put his watch on one day for something. I needed to use it for a photo or something. And he was making fun of how loose it was on my wrist. It's like he's like, "Oh my gosh, yours are small." So yeah, yeah. So I have the GMT on right now. I absolutely love this
Oh
thing,
yeah.
and I have one more removable link that I can take out, and that's
Oh
it.
wow.
So oh yeah, I have pretty small wrists, but I also like my watch pretty snug. I don't like it flopping around on me.
Oh
So
yeah, I hate that.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm left-handed, so I'm a right wrist watch wearer. That's hard to say.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I also play guitar, so I don't like a watch on my right wrist while I'm strumming, and it just flops everywhere. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah, I hate
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep. So I like it nice and snug.
Yeah. I put it on my wrist at that exact position and it should stay there, right?
Yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
like it. Yep, yep. I
Yeah,
like it a little snug.
100%.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
one thing like we really wanted with like the field watch, especially was, of course, that was our first model, and so we wanted that one to be like ultra. Um, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like very versatile. So like it could be
Hmm.
dressed up, it could be dressed down. And so that's one reason we decided to ship with like the nylon NATO strap or the Royal Air Force, whatever you want to call it, style strap, and then the brown leather. So it's like we have the little classier version with the brown leather, then you have more of the sportier outdoorsy side with the canvas. So or the nylon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that
And
was kind
then
of
you
the
also
decision behind the two
can
straps.
and then you can also adapt the titanium bracelet on it,
Yes, and
right?
then we did that quite a bit later. So I think we're on the third batch of those, and they're actually going really quick too. I just realized how low our inventory was yesterday doing some shipments, and yeah, those have been extremely popular. That bracelet is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the RZE guys crushed that, so they helped us spec that out. Um, so it's kind of a little bit different take on their bracelet. So the coloring's a little different.
Oh yeah, I saw that because a friend of mine sent me the usual RZE bracelet around,
Mhm.
and it even so slightly misses the finish of the TI Field Watch.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
very,
theirs
very
is
minor
it
the
is
difference,
it's
but there
like
is one.
one shade lighter. Theirs is
Yeah,
just one
exactly.
shade lighter than ours. Ours is just a
Yeah,
hair darker. Yeah,
yeah,
we
exactly.
because we wanted the stonewashing to match our pins and our tools and everything. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so we had them tumble it a little bit longer for our stuff.
So even the collaboration with RZE was easy, right? Because
Oh,
you
100%.
just
They're
connected
a great
naturally,
team.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even so Huey is now a partner in RZE with Travis. And they're a
Oh,
very,
cool.
very cool, very unique company how they operate.
Hmm.
And so Huey's become a really, really good friend of ours. He comes down here. He lives in central Canada. Uh, and so he comes down here at least probably twice a year, and he'll
Hmm.
just come hang out for a couple days. And he went to Blade Show with us, and he's just become a really, really good friend. We text all the time.
Awesome.
Yep. Really good people. And then our friend Kirk does a lot of the content for him. He's also in Canada, but he's on East Coast Canada. So their company, I think, technically has like 8 employees,
Okay.
and no two are in the same country or in the same like city.
Oh
They're
wow,
yeah,
that's
it's like they
wild.
have. I think it's like 2 in Canada. I'm probably going to butcher it, but 2 in Canada. Travis is in Singapore. He's the one that owns the company, uh, or the majority owner. I think Huey is a partner, and their customer service person, Vivian, I'm pretty sure she is in Australia. And we actually handle their U.S. Exchanges and returns. So that all comes to our warehouse. Like that's part of our partnership.
Ah,
Yeah. So we
okay.
kind of help them with logistically in the States. Um,
Awesome.
and then yeah, so
That's
no, and
global,
they're
right?
yeah, it really is. And so the cool thing is like with Travis, like has a very unique story. So Travis is a pilot for Singapore Air. And so that's
Oh,
his
okay.
main thing is he's a full-time pilot. But of
Hmm.
course, with these but he does these like massive like 12-hour flights. And so he has a ton of downtime between flights is when he works on the watch business. Um, and so it's like when he's in hotel rooms, I think he flies to California a lot. Uh, yeah, so he'll like spend, a couple days in a hotel room between return flights and just work on watch designs or work on watch products. So
Hmm.
it's pretty cool. So it was kind of neat to hear his story. And he's like a lifelong night watch nerd. And his, if I remember correctly, it's his wife's uncle owns the watch factory that makes the watches.
Ah,
And so
okay.
yeah, so they have a family tie to the factory, which I thought was super cool.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, they live in Singapore. The watch factory is I can't remember exactly what city it's in China. And his wife is from that area, I think. Really, really cool. So yeah,
Wow.
his wife's uncle owns the factory. Pretty sweet.
I mean, that's a wild arrangement to run a company, right?
Uh
But
huh.
I mean, it's also so awesome to run a company like that, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's like the cool thing is like with today's world, like everything being, online and accessible is like you can kind of do whatever you want wherever you want. Uh,
Yeah.
with a few exceptions, of course, but for the most part, it's like it's kind of cool to see how he's like built this pretty reputable company. That's doing a pretty good amount of business now, and I feel like they're just continually getting more and more recognition, as they should. I think they're amazing, and yeah, that he's doing it alongside a full time career, on the side. So,
Mm.
and he's built this team that kind of works with him and works for him. So, really, really neat situation.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, um, especially with the industrialization and globalization, the world has grown so small that that it is possible to do something like that, right?
Oh, for sure.
So that's a huge benefit in the modern world, right? So to
Hmm.
say. Yeah.
Yep.
What would you say is the most important part on a functional design for a watch?
Oh gosh, the most important part.
Would you
Honestly,
say
just
it's the
easily.
size?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think the easy answer would be just legibility. Like, how quickly can I look
Mhm.
down at a glance and see? Okay, all right, I know it's 141 right now. Uh, so yeah, legibility for me would be number one, and I think just overall style is number two. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think those are probably my personal top two. So um, I kind of think of it as like with the knife world, which we're obviously in the knife world too. Uh, it's like people get caught up a lot of times on specs and they get caught up on like what
Yeah, the
material is this
steel
made
and
out of? What
stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
blade steel is it? And really, I think 99% of any knife design, same with watches, is like, am I attracted to it? Like, does it
100%.
feel,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like the aesthetics, especially in a
exactly.
watch, because it's a
Yeah.
tool, but it needs to be built like a tool. Like I think to me it is a tool. Um, but I need to be like drawn to it. I want to wear it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So same with a
definitely.
knife. Like if it has the best specs in the world, but it doesn't draw me in visually and feel like something I would carry, then I'm not going to pick it up. Uh,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, it's like you buy with your eyes before you even know what anything is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and so
like
the GMT is actually a pretty good example of that. We actually started that project because I kept getting Amazon uh, like pushed ads for these really cool Seikos that had colored bezels. They were all like diver watches with nice bezel designs,
mhm,
and I wanted one so bad. I could not get away from these like suggested products on Amazon for some reason. And I came so close to buying one. I was like, these Seikos are just beautiful. I think they're awesome. And then I was like talking about them one day, and Joe was like, well, why don't we just make one? Like, let's just I was like, let's do it. So yeah, instead of spending $600 on a watch, we spent like over 100,000 on a whole run. So yeah, yeah. Actually, it was more, pretty, yeah, quite a bit more than that actually. But uh, yeah, so it was like, yeah, let's take something we're attracted to and let's get inspiration from it. And what
Mhm.
can we do to kind of spin it and do something different and make something really cool out of it?
Is there something you pay special attention to when designing one of your watches?
I would say the answer is probably yes, but it's probably one of those like use cases. And so like
Mhm.
if when we were working on the baseline field watch, we're going to be paying more attention to different things than we are the GMT or the field watch. So I think it depends on like we're trying to make it fit its purpose or like or work really well at its intended purpose for that model. Uh yeah, so it's kind of hard to pick like just one, I think, but uh
So it depends on the watch you are designing.
yeah, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Uh yeah.
What would you say are the most challenging and the most fun parts in designing a watch?
Hmm. I think finding something that everybody can agree on is the challenge and the hard part. Uh, and so like especially like Chad, Joe, and myself, like we like to we all have like slightly different styles. And of course with watches, that's going to come out even more.
Mhm.
Um, and so kind of that push and pull of like, well, I like this because it's a little more rugged, but I like this because it's a little more dressed up, or like uh, finding that cool middle ground that I think the three of us kind of uh, represent a pretty large demographic of people uh, by the three of us. And so, like, if we can find something that all of us are very excited about and on board for, I think we're onto something. Uh,
Oh, that's
yeah, as
easy
far
then.
yeah, so I think yeah, the middle ground of the three of our preferences, I feel like is always a really good spot to be in if we can get there. Um, and then I would say the most exciting part, honestly, is uh, since we aren't watchmakers, like personally, like we don't have a watch building or watch designing background, like we don't know the rules. And
Mhm.
so we don't have to follow any rules because we don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Uh same same thing when we did a backpack. We don't know the rules of bag making. So we made the bag as we thought we should make it. Uh and so the cool thing is like by breaking a lot of the rules we don't know, we've come up with something pretty unique. Uh and so there's like a few different elements in watches. People are like, well, a field watch would have numbers on the, at least on the corners. And we're like, well, ours doesn't. So, well, a field watch doesn't have a rotating bezel. We'll be like, well, ours does. Like, it's like, so yeah. And so it's like I actually really love it when people make comments, especially on ads. We'll get people like that on there that are just like, oh, well, here, you broke this rule and you broke this rule. It's like, oh, that's cool. Sweet. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Thanks for noticing. Yeah.
noticing. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I didn't know that rule existed before just now. So yeah, so there's a ton of freedom in not knowing the rules in a really
Oh
great
yeah.
way. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so like, yeah, you're not
That's an
bound by
interesting
like
view on it. Yeah.
you have to live within these guidelines. It's like, well, if you don't know the guidelines, you don't have to live in them.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I think that's where a lot of cool, unique stuff comes from. And that's
I
really
mean,
kind of
that
how,
frees
that
so
we
much creative potential, right?
oh,
Not
100%.
not orientating in any rules system, right?
Yep.
And so you
Yep.
can do whatever you want. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and it's like if you don't know tradition, then you don't necessarily have to honor it. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah, very free. Yeah, so
Oh
that's
yeah,
probably
that's
the
awesome.
most fun side of
Yeah,
it.
I can
It's like we
imagine.
can
Yeah.
we can literally do whatever we want. So
I
uh,
mean, just think about it. Looking on the knife side of things, right?
mhm,
If you wouldn't know the rules of designing a knife, I mean, what crazy shit would you do,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, and honestly, that's what we did. Yeah, we didn't really know the rules of knife making. We didn't know the rules of pin making. Like
Yeah.
None of it. Yeah. So it's like, okay, what do we want? What would we like to see? And let's try to make that. So yeah, it's way more fun that way.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, there are times I wish I wouldn't know the rules in certain scenarios, right? Because then I would like the creativity would just explode, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to think in a certain way to fulfill some rules. They exist because they exist, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny. Me and some of the guys were talking yesterday. A lot of us are musicians that work here. And
Mm-hmm.
I made the statement like we're talking about music theory. And so it's like, okay, music theory gives you the kind of the guidelines of music and how it should work and how it should be structured and what works and what doesn't. Uh,
Yeah,
and so I was talking about how like a lot of like, in my opinion, some of the most like creative musicians I've ever heard did not know music theory to save their life, like could not care less. And uh, and so by not knowing those rules and what should work and what shouldn't, that's where they can get like really outside of the box and kind of push into something
yeah,
creative.
yeah.
So yeah, so if you don't know the theory behind it, then you're not bound by that theory.
It's so
So
funny because that is exactly that what I'm always thinking when listening to Tool, right? So
oh
because
yeah, it's like
they're
that shouldn't work. Like half of that
exactly,
stuff
but
should
it
not work.
does. But
Yeah.
it does because it's like so spacey, free in everything they do.
Oh
And
yeah.
then songs like Pneuma, for example, right? They're just like so weirdly organized in their whole sound structure,
Hmm.
and it just like appeals to you, right? Because it's not the same old shit, so to say,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, and it's like music is all numbers and
Yeah,
intervals is all music
yeah,
is,
yeah,
and boiled down to something very simple. But it's like so when your brain hears that thing that's not supposed to be there, quote unquote, like it's like what is this? Like yeah, that's what perks you up. Like that's what makes you
yeah,
realize like oh wow okay
exactly.
that's cool. So yeah, when they kind of bend keys and do chords and stuff that shouldn't work together, but they make it work together is where the
Yeah,
where the magic is.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. So the same thing applies to designing knives and watches, right?
Yeah, I think
Because
it
I
designs
feel like
honestly to anything. Yeah.
I feel like I would have never thought about field watches shouldn't have a rotating bezel because I love the rotating bezel
Right. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the TI field
Once you
watch,
have
right?
it, it's yeah. We kind of decided that all of our mainline watches would have a rotating bezel of some sort. So
Yeah.
that was kind of like a that will be a marquee of what our watches are. Uh, so yeah, anything that's not a baseline series will have that rotating bezel. We actually tried to get it on the baseline. It was going to make our cost way too high.
Mm,
It wasn't. We were
mm,
because that was one of the few products that we've ever actually built with a price point in mind. Like okay, we want to have a sub $200. We want to build the coolest, best thing we can do and sell it for under $200. Like so, that's why they're 199.
mm.
Like we got it right at it. So
That's insane
uh,
again. Yeah.
yeah, so like
Like,
that was the full titanium case, like with good like nice straps, and like we
yeah.
didn't really want to cheapen anything. We wanted to keep our specs as high as we could, and so it's just like okay, what do we have to rein in, and what do we have to give up so the overall can still be better? And so yeah, the rotating bezel was unfortunately that went on there. Yeah, just because the factory was like we're gonna have to do like a whole separate mold on this, and so you're like, okay, all right, now we're at mold costs, which are the majority of your costs, at least on the front end.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, so we unfortunately had to let it go on that. But yeah, the
And
Daily Solar's got it, the Field Watch has got it, the GMT's got it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we were
such an
actually
awesome
just talking
feature. Yeah.
about today at lunch. We were kind of brain storming about what this year's GMT might be. So kind of throwing out some ideas. So that literally was a
Okay.
conversation just an hour and a half ago.
Awesome.
So
I mean, let's think back. I think it was like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. I meet with a friend every now and then. He also got a YouTube channel, right? And then we are sitting together and we meet on a Spezi, right? So Spezi
mhm.
is like special drink mixed Coke with Fanta, right? So
Okay.
it's like from Paulana, a German traditional beer. Um, beer manufacturer, so to say. Well, I mean, you don't manufacture beer, but I think you get the point, right?
Yeah. A
So,
brewery.
yeah, brewery.
Yeah.
Thank you. That
Yep.
was I was missing. But so every now and then we meet, record 2 to 3 videos, and talk about stuff. And back then we talked about one of the topics was pens, right? And so obviously we also talked about your baseline line of pens, right?
Mhm.
Tab pen and the bolt action baseline pen. And we every time, especially now considering the watch also, we are flabbergasted how you guys manage to put out such an high quality product without any drawbacks at such a price point. It's always insane. It's always like, I mean, when someone comes to me and asks me, "Hey Tim, I want to get my first expensive pen, right, and maybe titanium and all that stuff," and
Mhm.
it's always the same answer. Just think for yourself. Do you want a capped version or do you want a bolt action version? Get one of those two and you're golden. And
Awesome.
that's
Thank you.
basically always the same answer because I think at the moment there's nothing better to get than those two. And I feel like I don't have it here on me, right? But I think the same goes for the baseline TI Field Watch. So yeah, it's always so. I sometimes I'm looking at those pens. I don't get it in my head how you guys achieve that, but I'm so fascinated by the fact that you do it and that you get it done because I think that's a huge benefit for the whole EDC scene, right?
Yeah, and that was honestly something we really were, like, passionate about too going into that project was like, "Okay, how can we let the people that want a nice pen but aren't going to splurge on $100 pen? Like, where's where's that like, what's the coolest thing we can do and keep it"
Yeah.
We wanted it under 75, like 70, 75 was kind of our cap price we wanted to be under. Uh, and, because there's some other brands that have, like, that, gosh, $50 to $70 pen, and I wouldn't say they're not good, they're just not up to the standards that we think they should be, to be in that price point, and so I was like, "Okay, all right, what can we do to bring something to market in that price point that will stand up against, even some of our own stuff that's in the $100 range?" Like, that baseline bolt action was by far our best seller unit wise last year.
Oh
It
yeah, I
wasn't
can
our best
imagine.
seller dollar wise because it's a cheaper pen, at least dollar cents. But as far as number of units go, it was our best seller by a long shot.
Hmm.
Um, so by like hundreds and hundreds of units difference to the next one, and the next one was I think the slim bolt action. Um,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, it's always
we've been
huge.
very happy with them. They're great
Awesome. Yeah.
pins. So and the capped, I love a capped pin.
Yeah,
And so the
definitely.
capped,
Me too.
of course, if you're used to our Fountain EDC, it's adapted off of that design um, as just like a really simple but just really well done, high quality snap cap. Um, the fountain pen, of course, has more components on the inside, which is what's going to drive the price up on it. Uh, and the
Yeah.
same thing with the regular bolt action, slim bolt action. The biggest difference is the just all the internal stuff. There's a lot more going on under the hood mechanically than in the baseline, and so that's really where a lot of our costs got to be able to be cut. Where the baseline is just Parker style refills, and the regular bolt action, the slim bolt action, both of those are 100 different refills. So having the auto adjusting collet, and then the internal adjustment on the slim, and then the telescoping grip on the regular one, uh, letting all the different refill lengths come into play. It's about a 3/4 of an inch play between the shortest version and the longest version.
Mm.
So there's a lot more going on inside that kind of allow for that to happen.
Oh
So, and of
yeah,
course, all those
definitely.
parts are titanium. So
I mean,
we don't do nothing
like
plastic.
the most fun thing on the cap pen is like when you put the cap on the back of the pen, so you
Mhm. Yeah,
the
you post
length
it.
of the pen,
Yeah.
and then you pull it apart, and then this little happens, right?
Oh, it's so addicting. Yes.
Oh yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I don't really like to write with it posted. I just like the weight of it without it on there. But the just pulling that cap off and on is like
Yeah.
oh
I mean,
man,
it's like a
it is
fidget toy for
addicting.
me sometimes. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, and I fidget with my pen a lot. Like right now, I've got a mini click on me, and I just sit here and just mess with that plunger. So
Yeah.
I bet that this one in
Relatable.
particular has been
Yeah.
clicked probably 10,000 times. So
Okay, let's get back to
yeah.
watches now.
Yes, yes.
Because
This section brought to you by pins.
exactly. So, like, you are now 4 designs deep, right, into the whole watch
Wait, 4
business,
or 5?
so to say.
Baseline,
It's like
daily solar, field watch, GMT. Yeah. So yeah, four main designs. Yeah, there's some variations within those, but yeah, 4. You're right.
So, are there already future plans for another watch design, or are you just like chilling now because you are just released 2 designs?
Yeah, we have definitely some ideas for the annual release stuff is going to be the GMT and the daily solar. And kind of the evergreen models will be the field watch and the baseline field watch. As far as right now, we don't necessarily have any plans for a 5th model yet. But what that doesn't mean it's not stewing in our mind in the background and not really brought out to light yet. So typically, like the kind of a little insight into how we come up with stuff, it's more like one of us has been mulling it over internally for a month or so, and then we'll bring it out. And by the time someone brings something out, it normally happens pretty fast. And so, like, just because nothing's on paper, nothing's been drawn, doesn't mean it's not there fully. And so, like, I have some ideas for some different products. Joe has different ideas for different products. Chad has different ideas for different products. And so it's like a lot of times one of us will bring it up, like randomly, like, hey, I had an idea. Actually, that's what happened with the capped. I kind of wanted to, I loved the Fountain EDC. The Fountain EDC was kind of one of the first projects I really headed up. And because I'm more the marketing guy, the like I do a lot of the, obviously social media, that kind of stuff, but I do a lot of the day-to-day kind of operational management is also kind of one of my kind of scopes of work. So I make sure the team's flowing, everything's working, everybody's got what they need, kind of general management type things. And so like I've done a few projects where I'm like, okay, this was kind of my baby. Like, so the Fountain EDC was probably my first one. And so I wanted to take that into a capped regular rollerball pin idea, but nothing really like hit me quite yet. And then my wife bought my kids like these cheap little tiny skinny pins that were capped. And because I always thought like, okay, if we do that, it needs to be longer. Like how do we make it work? And we got these tiny little pins at the house, and I sat there and stared at them for about an hour and a half one night, like just looking at them. And I looked at my wife. I was like, "Can I have one of these?" Because there was like a pack of 10 of them. She's like, "Yeah, I guess." Like she thought that was weird because I'd make pins, and so I brought it to the office the next day, and I showed it to the guys, and we like all sat down and like looked at them together. We're like, what if we combine this with the Fountain EDC? And it was like I ran and grabbed one, and like within like probably 2 hours, we had a design ready to roll. So
awesome.
it's just so it's like the things like that can happen super fast. It's like, hey, I have an idea for this. Let's flush it out, and then that's when things really kind of get rolling. So to answer your question, maybe. Nothing is concrete or drawn yet, but there are probably more ideas than we think there are. So
I mean, besides the need or quote unquote need for another watch design, I feel like there's always this omnipresent idea in my head of a big idea design flashlight, because then
that does sound cool. And I may have held it.
I think we talked about it in our first recording and then back at Have a Knives Day Fest, because I feel like that's the only thing missing from your whole lineup to become a one-stop shop for every EDC need, right? You got backpacks,
you're not
you got
wrong.
pens, you got knives. I don't know how many different EDC tools in general, right? And then the flashlight, I mean, you could just put an awesome set of big idea design EDC stuff together and fill a whole pouch with it and be happy.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, there are two holes in our lineup that are glaring to me, and that is one of them. I won't say what the other one is, but I will tell you both of them are in the works.
I was just about to ask, man.
we always have these like slow burn kind of like when the time's right projects. And the flashlight is probably the longest slow burn we've had. It's been we're probably 3 years into that conversation. And so I will say we are getting very close. I'll say that.
Oh wow.
Like very,
awesome.
very close. So we're
awesome.
probably I wouldn't be surprised if we do a Kickstarter for it this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
I'll tell you that.
Okay. I will keep my eyes peeled for sure.
Yeah. We're waiting on a design sample iteration to come in that we think might be the final. We're not sure yet. We gotta wait to feel it in hand. So
because like in the priority of EDC tools for myself, right? It's like pen, knife, flashlight, and then a multi-pry tool like the TPT slide, for example, right? So a good flashlight always has a spot in my pockets. Always.
Yeah,
so,
I got to where I carried a flashlight all the time. And then I started just leaving it in my bag. Like I've just carried like a little sling bag back and forth to the office. And it just kind of lives in there now. And I do use it, but I don't use it as much if it was in my pocket. But I also like not having it in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly. I always want a flashlight on me somehow, if it's a sling bag or in my pocket somewhere, I don't care. But I always feel like the need to carry one.
Yeah. So I currently have an Olight Arcfeld, just the regular one. That I've had for probably 2 years, I guess. That's been a great flashlight. I love that thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I've got one of those that just lives in my bag with my, and I've got one of our EDC pocket pouches with like a toolkit that live in that bag. So
yeah,
kind of the not as all the time needed, but I still need them from day to day gear lives in that bag.
I feel like some people always say, yeah, but you got a flashlight on your phone, right? But
yeah, I mean, I use that in a pinch, but it's not great.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly. Like I feel like
it's always underwhelming.
Once you get to use a flashlight and not your phone for it, then you will never return to anything else but the flashlight. And if you need a flashlight, you for sure need a flashlight. There is no other option, right? Because if I need a knife to open a package, I also can take like my finger to open a briefcase or something like that. A briefcase.
For sure.
Like a ladder, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, there's always an option to get arranged with something else. But if you need a flashlight, you for sure need a stupid flashlight. So yeah, there's no alternative in that. So
yeah. And even like I carried the Olight i1R2 EOS, the little keychain guy.
Oh yeah, awesome tool. Yeah,
I need to put it back on my keys. Actually, now to say that I moved it to a different keychain, and then someone gave me a different one at actually at Blade Show Texas. They just brought it up to me because I had showed my old one, and they were like, I had 5 of these. I wanted to give it to you, and so and it got ripped off my keys somewhere, and I lost it. So I had to. It was really cool because I was like this random guy who watches our videos like came up and was like, hey, you said you had this old version. I wanted to give you a new one. So so it was a really, really cool, really kind gift. And I was kind of bummed when I noticed it was missing. So I bet I had it for 2 months and then I don't know what happened, just got ripped off. So
I mean,
I still have that old one. I need to throw it back on the keys. That's a good little good keychain light.
The keychain light for me has become the classic SD emergency tool by Victorinox, right? They got glow in the dark scales on it and a tiny flashlight. So if you press the Victorinox shield on the knife, it just activates the tiny flashlight on it. And that's also
kind of cool.
Yeah, that's an awesome backup flashlight for my priority one in the sling bag or in my pockets, right? So if I even miss my main flashlight, I got a backup on my keychain, so I always got a light on me. So yeah, that works.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
So back to watches again.
This section brought to you by flashlights.
So the last question I want to ask you:
Sure.
which of your models would you suggest for a person getting into watches? I mean, like, to clarify, this isn't like about sheer price point, right? For me, it's like, yeah, get this and you will be golden in an EDC situation. I mean, I got my answer. I think you will answer basically the same. But yeah, what would your answer be?
Mine would be just the classic TI field watch. But there's a qualifying question because we do offer it in automatic and solar. And that's one reason we offered it in this. It's like, okay, do you want something that the design and the function is a little more timeless, is a little more mechanically special, or do you want something that is rock solid, will like literally never leave you stranded, like a go anywhere, do anything, and look really good while doing it?
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want the timeless nature of an automatic, or do you want the rock solid, kind of more modern solar? So it's the two sides of the same coin is kind of where we went with that. So I'm an automatic guy. I like automatics. I love, I like old sports cars and motorcycles and yeah, like I'm into old analog stuff. And so like the timeless nature of the mechanics of an automatic watch get me excited. And so that for me, it would be the automatic. For some, it might be the solar, and there's no wrong answer. So
I have to say,
I don't think I have any of our solar watches, honestly, now that I say that.
Talking about it, I never had a solar watch, I have to say. Really. I feel like it's, like you said, now technically a bit more appealing for some people, maybe, because it's more futuristic, quote unquote, compared to an automatic.
Yeah, a quartz movement is the most accurate movement too.
Exactly.
And so if you have a solar powered quartz movement, it's like your battery will pretty much never go dead. I think it's got like an estimated lifespan of, it's something like 12 years.
Oh wow!
On that battery, yeah, it's something crazy long. But that's an estimate. So I think it's in reality it's actually longer. And a 6 month reserve battery. So as long as it's charged, you can put it in a dark drawer for 6 months. It'll keep going. Yeah, so it can live on a full charge for half a year before you have to charge it again. And just by wearing it charges it. So just like an automatic, like it whines as you wear it.
Yeah.
And I love that little noise. Actually, I just heard it. The little noise of that rotor. You can just barely hear it. Like, I love that sound.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could feel, and like sometimes you can feel it. If you get it going pretty fast, you can feel it moving. So I don't know. I just love that kind of the pulse and the character that gives you. So, I always err on that kind of thing.
I never felt it on the Seiko I got, but then on the TI Field Watch, I feel it, like the way it's spinning around and keeping the automatic.
Well, it's probably the lighter case.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got that stainless steel case, which is quite a bit heavier. And so there's not as much to ground it. Yeah.
Exactly. First, I got a bit getting used to, but now I love it.
Yeah, you get used to that and you're like, oh, it's kind of neat. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It feels interactive. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so you heard it. If you want to get an entry watch from the guys of Big Idea Design, look for the TI Field Watch, automatic or solar version, and you are golden. And I have to say, the automatic TI Field Watch, since I got it, it never left my wrist. Well, despite sleep time, right? But since then, everyday daily driver. And I have to say, I feel like no watch right now which would do it quite right, just like the TI Field Watch does.
No, so, you great endorsement.
Brantley, it was fun again talking to you. I had so much fun. I hope to see you soon back at Have a Nice Day Fest. Maybe if you want to take this crazy trip again.
We are hoping to. We haven't officially planned it yet. So
okay.
The unfortunate thing is for me is it lands right around my wife's birthday. And so
okay.
we actually left on my wife's birthday last year. So that was a sticky subject.
Oh yeah, relatable.
It's like, hey, all right, honey, I love you. I'm going out of the country. Have fun with our children by yourself. Yeah.
Happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday. Yeah. So yeah. So we haven't officially booked it yet, but yeah, we got to figure out the details and make a decision.
Awesome.
So if it works out, we would absolutely love to. It was a great time. So the Knives and Tools team put on an amazing event.
Yeah, 100%. They always do, like every year. So yeah, let's see. I don't know if I will make it to Blade this year in Atlanta. I think I will not, but I hope to next year. I mean, I know I said the same thing last year. But
it's a great time. So I if you've never been, I always say just do it. It's worth the trip.
Yeah, definitely.
So just to hang out with people, and even if you don't buy a single knife, spending time with friends is always worth it. So,
and that's my
favorite part about it.
Exactly, and that's the only thing I want to go for, right? I don't care so much about the knives. I mainly care about getting to know people in person, right? Because there are so many brilliant knife designers and makers and factories and whatnot be represented at Blade Show. And so I really feel like if you are into knives and for me, like an influencer, quote unquote, I don't like calling me myself that, but basically I am.
No influencer does.
Yeah. But I really would love to get to know people out of my network, right? So
for sure.
Yeah, Brantley, thank you so much for taking your time, and I hope we will hear about one another soon. And yeah,
definitely.
Have a good one, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tim.
So, and for everyone else listening, have a good day, have a good night, have a good time. See you around, hear you around, more or less. Bye-bye.